Now at 7, ambushed in Idaho, 2 firefighters shot and killed. And investigators say the gunman appears to have intentionally lured them to the scene by setting a fire. More developments with how police discovered the suspect.
I've been poison-free, alcohol-free for 2 years, 6 months now. And so literally these products actually saved my life.
Plus, one local store owner speaking out on the ban of certain cannabis products. Coming up in 6 minutes, why he says it will wrongfully affect his business.
And a backyard ball field built for grandchildren is now fueling a nationwide mission to fight Alzheimer's. See one man's plan to turn his small town tournament into something much, much bigger.
Live from Arkansas streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
And here we are on THV 11 Plus. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for streaming with us this morning. I'm Hayden Balgate.
And I'm Karen Fuller.
And I'm meteorologist Tracy Bean.
And I'm Ashley King. Excited
Glad
to be
have
here.
You, Ashley.
Welcome.
Yeah.
We're glad to be with you on streaming. And remember, you'll find us every day from now on from 7 to 9 here on THV 11 Plus.
Pretty cool. We're ready to rock and roll. It's going to be a lot of fun. So again, just a reminder for y'all if you're just joining us here on streaming. So yes, we will continue on THV 11 from 5 to 7 every single morning, just like you used to. But now you get 2 additional hours with the help of Ashley King, to my right, to help you with traffic.
And how much you get?
This is going to be really cool
free.
as we dive into the month of July and the summer. But you know, when those kids start going back to school and you need to get an update on Cantrell, you need an update on 630, you need an update on Markham, you need an update from Conway, Hot Springs, Cabot, wherever. Ashley's going to have your back from 7 to 9.
That's really nice. We're glad to have you transition from the Vine to THV 11 Morning News and giving us that all-important critical 6:30 to 7 traffic time, which we did on THV 11. Now to be streaming, and you can take care of folks who may be getting out a little bit later.
That's right. Yeah, we want to make sure everyone gets there on time and safely. And before you head out, you can watch to see what's going on with the traffic. And I'll be doing this, and then Tracy and I will be going over to the Vine a little bit later on, where we got crazy and insane and no telling what's going on. It looks like that we do have a car on the side of the road right here. It looks like our traffic cam that we had pulled up. I think that our dot is probably locked in on something right now. But overall, traffic is moving pretty steadily. Even with this car here on the side of the road, you can see that people are getting around, and it hasn't stopped traffic much. But traffic is mostly light across the metro this morning. We're going to keep you up to date at 7:02. Things are really just starting to pick up for your drive time into downtown Little Rock, Conway, around the Dave Ward exit. If you're leaving in that area, it's going to take you 21 minutes to get to downtown Little Rock. The Benton Alcoa exit, an 18-minute drive. Cabot Highway 5 from there to downtown Little Rock, about actually just updated it. It's 23 minutes now. So be careful as you're driving in, and we'll keep you up to date right here on THV 11 Morning News.
All right, we're going to check out the weather. Not giving us any troubles this morning. Traffic's good, weather's good. It's a little warm out there, so grab that water while you're grabbing the coffee this morning. You will certainly need it. A few clouds out there this morning, but again, not a lot of activity. All of those storms that passed through overnight have moved on out or dissipated, but here's what we're tracking. It's going to be hot with a few spotty storms today. It's going to be cooler and drier for midweek, and hot and mainly dry for this holiday weekend, which is good news. Last week we were unsure about how long that rain was going to stick around, but looks like it's going to give us a very dry, could see a spotty summer shower, but the Friday for the 4th should be pretty good. Starting the morning off at 74 here in central Arkansas, already starting to get right close to those 80s there in the southern portion of the state. Looking for a high in central Arkansas of 94, 96 in Camden, 94 in Monticello, keeping those 80s and lower 90s here to our north. Though we are going to see that heat advisory and a few of those storms, as I mentioned. This is what we're looking at as far as the heat advisory goes for central, southern, eastern, and northeastern Arkansas. Could see those heat index values 105, 106, not too bad. But again, it's enough to make sure that you are staying hydrated and just listening to your body. And of course, around others as well, in case you're outside working or playing, just stay healthy. We are looking for that severe weather risk. It's marginal, so it's low risk, but as we all know, it just takes one storm to cause a little trouble. So ingredients are there, although it is a bit low risk. We're still looking for possibly some gusty winds and maybe a little hail here around Fort Smith and northwest Arkansas area. But we're going to start to see a bit of relief in how it feels as we're heading into midweek. And then we're going to start to see an uptick in that, but luckily we're staying below that heat advisory category. So we'll be able to get outside for that 4th of July weekend and enjoy ourselves.
Developing now out of northern Idaho, police say 2 firefighters are dead after an ambush by a gunman while the men were battling a wildfire on Canfield Mountain.
A third firefighter is recovering after surgery and listed in stable condition. Investigators believe the fire was intentionally set and the suspect opened fire as crews arrived. Now, law enforcement say they exchanged gunfire with the shooter on Sunday afternoon, tracking him by cell phone signals before finding him dead on the mountain with multiple weapons nearby.
Crews managed to pull the suspect's body off the mountain just as flames were closing in on them. The sheriff says it is still unclear whether he was killed by deputies or if the suspect took his own life.
Believe that is the only shooter that was on that mountain at that time. So there is no threat to the community at this time.
But snipers, federal agents, and state police joining in that search, helicopters and drones tracking heat signatures from above under a no-fly zone.
The shelter order is lifted, but crews urge people to avoid the mountain. That fire is still burning this morning. Investigators returning today to gather more evidence. Names of the victims and suspect remain withheld. In other developing news this morning, a tech trade group is taking Arkansas to court over 2 new state laws targeting social media content. NetChoice filed the federal lawsuit in Fayetteville Friday, challenging laws that would let parents sue platforms over harmful content tied to a child's suicide and restrict what users can see online. This comes months after a judge blocked a separate Arkansas law that required parental consent for minors to join social media. Governor Sanders signing the latest bills earlier this year. You can read much more at thv11.com.
Time now 7:07. We have shown you how serious the maternal health care crisis here in Arkansas is, and now Arkansas leaders are expanding support for high-risk pregnancy with a program called Maternal Life 360. It sends health care workers to visit moms at their homes, and now it's growing from Faulkner and Saline counties to include Little Rock and North Little Rock. This program is free and it's for eligible mothers on Our Home or Arkansas Medicaid with a high-risk pregnancy.
I assist them with getting other services like housing, childcare, food, nutrition services, behavioral health or medical services, job skills services, all of those things.
You must also live in Pulaski, Saline, or Faulkner County and not already receive similar home services. And you can learn how to sign up on our website, thv11.com.
Men's Health Awareness Month wraps up today, and heart disease still tops the list of concerns. Doctors warn that many men ignore early symptoms and delay care for conditions like high blood pressure and high cholesterol, major heart attack risks. Now, studies show men also smoke more and exercise less than women, raising their risk at earlier ages. That combination puts them at a higher risk for younger men for these conditions.
They tend to take less care of their high blood pressure, and they tend to have uncontrolled hypertension compared to their women counterpart, and that exposes them to the risk factors.
Experts urge regular checkups and at least 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week.
Federal cuts could hit victim support services hard, including a shelter in Northwest Arkansas. This shelter provides emergency housing, advocacy, and a 24/7 crisis line for thousands of women and children in Arkansas. Director Elaine Jackson says it's already lost 65% of its state and federal funding, and there are more cuts coming likely this fall.
We've been really preparing to make sure we're as best suited as possible to handle these cuts. But we're not sure how much funding we may or may not receive, and it's quite likely we will receive none at all.
So in an effort to remain open, the shelter is launching a campaign called Restoring Hope, with which they hope to raise more than $500,000. In a THV update, Attorney General Tim Griffin says a new court ruling gives Arkansas the green light to ban certain cannabis products.
But retailers now face a tight deadline to pull them from their shelves, and many, well, they're not happy about it this morning. THV11's Carter Thweed spoke with business owners now feeling the impact.
This all started in 2023 when state lawmakers passed Act 629, banning products with substances like Delta 8 and Delta 9. Then last week, federal courts allowed that law to go forward, but I spoke with one store owner who says this could put him out of business and his products aren't dangerous.
I've been poison-free, alcohol-free for 2 years, 6 months now, and so literally these products actually saved my life.
Roger Crawford never imagined he'd own a CBD business in Hot Springs, CBD meaning cannabidiol, a substance that comes from the cannabis plant but doesn't get you high. Crawford claims his products have health benefits, and while more research is needed, there is evidence it can help with things like seizures, insomnia, and chronic pain.
We have a product that actually changes people's lives for the better.
The act that federal courts upheld last week would, according to its sponsors, ban Delta 8, a substance often found in cannabis that the FDA says is unapproved and dangerous for kids. But Crawford says the 25-page act would do more than that.
They're putting verbiage in that legislation, such as ingredients, the process of extraction and things like that, which basically deem all of my products except a few, a handful that's over here on the shelf, illegal.
One argument used by the Attorney General's office is that products like CBD gummies can be packaged in ways that are misleading to children. Crawford says it's not happening.
He made a claim that my products are killing people. Okay, where's the bodies at? Everybody has the technology. Google it. Google how many people die from alcohol every day. Google how many people die from tobacco every day. Google how many people die from gun violence every day in the state of Arkansas. We have an emergency bans on all of those? No, they're in every shopping center.
AG Griffin said in his press conference he hopes the ban will go into effect in about 8 weeks. Crawford says as soon as that happens,
I'm a criminal. I will be charged criminally for possessing something that God gave us to use. And that is sad. And it's sickening, and I'm not going out quietly.
Crawford tells me he thinks Arkansas's medical marijuana industry is at least partly responsible for laws like these, hoping to eliminate competition from stores like his. More information, including the full text of Act 629, can be found on our website, thv11.com.